Welcome back. Today is Saturday, December 6th, and it's the sixth day of reflections, but technically the fourth because I skipped the fourth and the fifth because I've been tired. I won't apologize for being tired. So I'm not gonna sit up here and say sorry or anything crazy, but after I've gotten home from work these last 2 days, I have just been feeling so sleepy. And so I'll eat, clean up, and I just got right in the bed and just didn't feel no way about it. Rest is so important to me these days, and I don't trade it for anything else. So I got some sleep. I got really good sleep, like 9 hours each night, and I think my body really needed that. And yeah. So anyway, um, December 4th was Thursday. And I know, like, going into the day, I had this idea of what I would chat about. And so I'll do that now. It was my dad's birthday. And my dad is obviously someone who is, important to me in terms of, who I am today and the things that I love. I am a big lover of music, R&B to be, specific. My dad is a singer and he plays electric guitar and he plays bass guitar. And growing up, we always were witness to live music and him singing with his uncles and his siblings and, at church, just everywhere. And, he's really, really talented. And so right now, as a 38-year-old woman, the relationship that I have with my dad, he lives out of state and we usually share music via text. He'll be like, oh, check this out, and it's like Anissa Strings and this woman who is like a really amazing guitar player, and she plays the bass, and obviously an instrument that my dad plays, and he would like me to also play the bass. So I would really love to tap into that sometime next year, as I make room for like new hobbies and such. And I'm actually getting ready to go out, so that's why I look crazy and my hair looks crazy. Anyway, so anyway, I really take it super personal, and I love it so much when people send me music because it just reminds me of the relationship that I have with my dad and of all of the things that I love, which is music. So if you send me something, like, I really think so highly of you, in the way that, like, you would think that I would enjoy it. And when I get to listen to something and it really is like amazing, like, it just sticks with me, and it like makes me think of you every single time the song comes on, and that's kind of like the point, right? But I think that I just never want to not feel a certain way. Like, I never not want to be happy about people sending me music. Of course, there's those couple that are just like not hits. And I'm always like, okay, what do I say about this? But anyway, just getting back to my love for music, and how it just like ties into like just all of the big events in my life. Like, I remember being a child and my parents got married and they came back. Everyone was at our house because that's where the reception was. And I remember my dad singing Prince, Diamonds and Pearls, and my mom was kind of like singing back, like, she's not a singer or anything, but it was just so cute to see people in love and using music as an expression of that. And I just remember just being so young, probably 7 or 8, and just being so like enamored and like big-eyed and like, oh my god, that's what love looks like, that's how love feels. And I just remember like my mom just looking so happy. Like just imagine there's this handsome man like just singing to you at your wedding reception, and everybody is just like, you know, googly eyed and like just loving it, and it just feels how love is supposed to feel. And then, you know, on the opposite end, when we would lose family members back in the day, I remember people coming to our house again, and then my dad having like this really tall, like, stereo player that was like, you know, like, you remember the ones that are like behind glass and you gotta like touch the door and it like pops open, and then you can like press all the buttons and use like CDs and like the radio, like it was like tapes actually, because it was so long ago. And then I just remember my dad like selecting music, and like we would all just be watching him, because then like it's so dramatic, my dad's family. Like everybody would be there like singing and crying and like carrying on, and like, and it just always just seemed like this big production. And like, I don't know, I just really loved those memories so much, because then even as we grow older and you think about how we get together and how music is always like the center, like you go to the repast and it's like, okay, well, we got to play this and we got to play that because this is the music that they loved, and like this is going to make us feel away. And just, I don't know, it's just such a beautiful connection, and how it just really, you know, brings everyone together. And I remember the last time that I really felt so moved by music is when D'Angelo died. And like, I remember telling my kids about like my experience growing up and listening to D'Angelo, and it's because of my dad. And as you know, a lot of the songs are, you know, guitar led. And I just remember my dad singing Lady, and like he was just always so handsome, you know. And so I just imagine like how he felt when he would sing and play those songs, and like how, you know, he would probably see himself in D'Angelo, or like if my dad was like an artist or something. Like these are dreams that he probably had. But when I was telling my own children about it, like we were in the car and we were driving and we were just grabbing like some fast food, and I was telling them about it, and literally like on the line at this place, like I started crying, and my kids were looking at me like, are you okay? And I mean, I was okay, but it was like, how is it that like this artist has been in the background of my life like for all of these years, and literally thinking about him and sharing like the joy that he brought me, and like how it made me see my dad, and how it like connected him to music and to instruments and stuff, like really led me to tears. And it's just such a beautiful thing that we are able to, you know, experience something like that on this earth. You know, like music is just so beautiful, and it just crosses, you know, so many different bounds and languages and like cultures. And like I remember going on Instagram that day and seeing people from everywhere literally just mourning him. And what a beautiful thing that is to leave behind, that people are just so connected and so like just they just want to do a tribute, and they just want to share their memories. And I don't know, like I feel like artists in general have that kind of thing where it's like, you know, long gone, long after I'm gone, this is the things, this is what I'm gonna leave behind. And I really hope that, you know, even me self-recording these things about, you know, what makes me happy and just about life in general are contributions to what my kids get to see, you know, long after I'm not here. Hopefully that's, you know, really, really far off. But in my writing and sharing, I mostly write about, you know, fiction and romance. So then when I'm not here anymore, you know, you have all of these little articles of love that I've, you know, left here. And it would just be sweet to be remembered in that way, and to have my words on paper, and, you know, all of the things. So I've rambled quite a lot here, and I hope that I've made up for the last 2 days of not being here. I would love to hear how you feel about music and its connection to you, if you are so willing to share. And sorry about my hair. I know I look a crazy mess, but I just got done blow drying it, and I have naturally curly hair, so that's why it's like all like puffy and weird, and there has been no like flat iron. This is just like a rough blow dry. Anyway, gotta go. See you guys.